Hi, I'm Brittany, and in this video I want to talk about karmic connections in synastry. So what is synastry? It is putting two people's birth charts on top of each other and seeing how the planets line up and what aspects are being made between the two charts. And it really shows how the people relate to each other, okay? And how the people feel in each other's presence. And you can really see a lot from this. It's really cool. I've been doing this for a while now and it works really, really good. Okay, and so what is a karmic connection? A karmic connection is either someone that you've known in a past life, if you believe in that sort of thing, or someone chosen by your soul in the soul realm as someone that is going to help you learn something in this lifetime, help you become who you're meant to be through relating to them. And in my opinion, it could be just about anybody that you've ever related with or interacted with that has changed you in a deep way, okay? Whether positively or negatively, okay? It could also be your soulmate, but I don't really think that your soulmate generally is someone that you are meant to live happily ever after for your whole life, and that is that. Sometimes soulmates or soul people come into our life to teach us something, and it's not always easy, and it doesn't always mean happily ever after. It can mean that. It definitely can, but it doesn't always. So that's not the only thing I'm talking about here. Okay, if that makes any sense at all. So what I have noticed, what I believe, this is all what I believe. There's no way to really know the truth on this. There's no 100% fact. This is karmic, this is not. You really have to trust your own guidance. If you feel like it's a karmic relationship and you're watching this video, you're wondering, oh, I wonder if me and so have a karmic relationship. It fucking is, okay? You know better than me, you know better than anyone. If you feel like you have a relationship that is important to you and has really changed your life either positively or negatively, that shit is karmic, okay? And don't let anybody tell you differently, and even me, okay? But these are some of the connections that I have found to be karmic, I believe. So, okay, first of all, you're gonna look at the nodes, okay? If someone has a planet conjunct your south node, in my belief, I 100% believe that you've known that person in a past life. Especially if the orb is within 3 degrees. Someone's planet conjunct your south node, you have known them in a past life. And the relationship will be characterized by the energy of that planet, okay? So Venus conjunct the south node, you could have been lovers in a past life. It doesn't mean that you were lovers, you could have been brother and sister, but Venus represents love. There was love in the relationship, and this love has carried over into this lifetime, okay? Or it could be Saturn conjunct the south node, and you could have been lovers, but it was somehow restrictive, or disciplined, or hard, or karmic, or the nature of Saturn, okay? So you could have been a parent or an authority figure to them. There's no way to really know exactly what you were unless you do a past life regression or do some deep hypnosis therapy type thing and just meditate on it. You know the answer, right? But yeah, so planet conjunct the south node, my opinion, 100% past life connection every freaking time, okay? Also, planets conjunct the north node too. That person could have been chosen by your soul to help bring you forward towards your purpose, because the north node is where the soul wants to go in this lifetime, okay? So when we have people's planets conjunct our north node, they are really pulling us there, and we're helping them to connect more with the energy of that planet. So those, I would say, are probably, in my opinion, some of the most karmic connections that you can have. Another thing, so outer planet connections. This is what I've read from a book, actually. It's called Karmic Connections. That's what the book is called. But she says that all the outer planets show karma, especially if they're going both ways. In my opinion, I don't really think they need to be going both ways. I think even if you have just a one-way aspect, so between someone's Pluto and your personal planet, so Pluto Venus is a big one for love, okay? Some type of love karma. The Pluto Venus relationship is so addicting and so sensual and so obsessive, and it's like feels like nothing you've ever felt before, and you feel like, wow, I could just die in this person's arms. This feels so good. but there's usually some control there. The Pluto person has a lot of power over the Venus person, okay? And this shows some type of karma, in my opinion. And it would be the same thing with like a Pluto-Mars contact, except you take the nature of Mars. Pluto-Mars is a little bit more aggressive because both parties are kind of butting heads, but Pluto-Mars, Pluto-Moon, Pluto-Sun, Pluto anything, especially if it's going both ways, even if it's not karma, okay? Because Pluto is the planet that forces us to have deep changes from within, from our subconscious. Pluto promotes deep healing, and these relationships might not always be easy, and there could be a lot of power struggles, there can be a lot of obsession, there can be a lot of negative feelings, but ultimately these feelings are what forces you to grow into a better individual. And so you thank those people that you have Pluto contacts with because they're teaching you. And both people are learning, okay? But it seems to be the Pluto person that has the control whether the relationship will happen or not, okay? So then of course Pluto, also Neptune, but Neptune has kind of a different flavor. It's a little bit, it's more in your imagination. It feels like this romantic fairy tale. It's not really as much, it's not a power struggle, it's just very feels like love. And if one person's Neptune is aspecting another person's Venus, that would show like a love karma. Neptune Mercury would show like some communication issues where people aren't always seeing clearly. But the thing with Neptune is it can take you to a spiritual vibration. It can take you to unconditional love if you let it. So I'll do another video explaining more about each of these planet contacts. I just want to kind of get through all of the ones that I feel are karmic. So also Uranus, okay? So any of the outer planets really, Uranus is going to feel more like a quick, sudden, we're in bed together type of relationship, and then suddenly, quickly, we're not, and we're not talking at all ever again. And it's very sporadic, and it doesn't have to be like that. It can be like that, but it feels very exciting. And Uranus is like that electricity that's running through your whole body when you're in love. That's the kind of thing that a Uranus relationship feels like, but that can show karma too, like karma where maybe in a past life one partner was learning how to commit or whatever, and the other one didn't really want to, and then it can kind of reverse. It can seem like one person wants a relationship and the other person doesn't, and then it switches, and that's kind of how Uranus goes. That can show karma. Then Saturn too is the planet of karma, so Saturn is obviously a big one. So Saturn to any of the personal planets too, and it can show kind of a father-mother type bond. So could maybe be in a past life you were a parent of the other, or you're acting like that in this life. Another thing that I think can show karma is Juno. And I don't know too much about asteroids, but I do know that I have known people with Juno contacts that it feels like you're married already, and it might only feel like that to one person. And I think this shows kind of a love karma too from a past life. It's like the Juno person completely idealizes the planet person and feels like they want to marry them, it seems. And I've seen this happen more than once, okay? So I don't know too much about it, but there's something about Juno. I think it's karmic. I think it represents soul connections. I'm gonna look into it more. Another thing, I think people's planets falling in your 12th house is gonna show karma. It could be an enemy from a past life. It could end up being an enemy in this life, but the person with the planet in your 12th house has an understanding of you that you might not even have of you, and they can be really valuable to learning about yourself, or they can totally screw you over because the 12th house Neptunian type of vibe. So people with planets in your 12th house, or if yours are going in someone's 12th house, this can show karma. I also think planets in the 8th house, when people's planets are falling in your 8th house, it promotes you to have this deep growth and learning and intense sex. Like Pluto in the 8th house, Pluto stuff in 8th house, a lot of sex, a lot of learning from this sex. This isn't light fun sex, this is like soul healing, earth shattering sex that ultimately brings you to being a new person. Like death and rebirth, the 8th house, right? So that can show karma. Anything else? I think people's planets conjunct your IC, so the 4th house cusp, or conjunct your midheaven. This can show some karma too, some type of family karma. 7th house and 1st house too, yeah, the angles are really important. I don't know if that shows karma as much as just like a soul friend in this life, but hey, you always gotta trust your own guidance. So overview of the aspects that I think are karmic is node stuff, especially the south node, 100% past life in my opinion, when someone's planet is conjunct your south node. Pluto contacts, Neptune contacts, Uranus contacts, Saturn contacts, to personal planets, of course. All of those contacts to personal planets. Everybody in your generation will have Pluto contacting Pluto and Neptune contacting. So that doesn't count. I mean, outer planet to personal planet connections, especially if they're going both ways, but even if they're just going one way. And then, what else did I say? Juno, there's some fuckery around that, okay? Not totally sure about it, but I do know it makes you idealize that person who's conjuncting your Juno. 12th house stuff, and 8th house stuff, 4th house stuff, 10th house stuff, maybe ascendant and descendant too. Yeah, so that's my little overview on aspects that I think are karmic in the Synastry chart. And I really just want to emphasize, like, relationships are not always easy, and some people are never going to understand you, and some people are never going to love you in the way that you wish that they would. But you might actually be learning more from them not loving you than if they did. Or things that you wish would happen might actually be helping you more that they're not happening. Like with your relationships and with your whole life. Your soul has chosen certain experiences to learn and grow, and you might learn more if that guy doesn't like you back, or that girl doesn't respond to your message. You might be learning more that way. And she might be actually sent to you as a guide to ignore you so that you can learn about yourself and why you feel so much attachment to someone. It's all for soul growth, all of it, okay? So you have to just completely let go. And this is not easy. I am by no means saying that this is an easy thing. This is something that I work hard to. I have Pluto in the 8th house. I like to hold on to things. I'm Taurus. I want to hold on to the people that I want to hold on to. But you really just gotta let everyone go and just trust yourself, meditate, get in contact with your own soul, and you'll see that everything is working out the way that it's supposed to. And yeah, you might actually be learning more from experiences that you think are hurting you. And I don't mean stay in relationships that are harmful to you ever. I mean, love yourself, get in contact with your soul and what you need, but don't hold resentment towards anyone who's hurt you, because you never know, you could have signed up for that experience prior to this life to learn about something that your soul wants you to learn about. So just love everyone, especially love yourself, love your relationships, study your synastry charts, they'll never lie to you, and watch out for these contacts. Thanks for watching.